Hey everyone, it's Virginia the Buckeye Gamer here, back with another video. And today we are going to be doing my top 5 Nintendo 64 games. Now some of these you might be able to tell what they are by color of the cartridge, but we're going to go through here one by one. I'm going to show you my favorites, why they're my favorites, and go from there. So a little backstory on myself first. Many gamers who watch my channel, they're, very familiar with NES, Super Nintendo, and Sega Genesis, and things like that, which, I played those games when I was a kid, but my biggest and some of my best gaming memories were on the Nintendo 64. It is still to this day one of my all-time favorite consoles, and had some of my, again, of course, has some of my favorite games of all time. So, without further ado, let's start off with number 5. We have Mario Kart 64. So I love me some good racers. Mario Kart never fails to disappoint. And this is one of the... Nintendo 64 had a lot of racing games, but one of the best right here. You cannot go wrong with Mario Kart. This is where I got introduced to Rainbow Road, which scared me half to death a couple times, but I absolutely love it. Like for Nintendo 64 game, the detail on here was actually really good. But had great memorable tracks. Not a huge roster of characters, but then again, that was a little earlier on. So I'm sure they were trying to still fill out and everything, but it had exactly what it needed. There wasn't anything more, anything less. So definitely number 5, Mario Kart 64. And coming in at number 4 is another racing game, which I kind of went back and forth with this, but I have to go. There's one kart racer that I think is much better than Mario Kart 64, and that is Diddy Kong Racing. Sorry, the cover's a little beat up on here. I do have to get this cartridge cleaned, but Diddy Kong 64 had a lot of things going for it that Mario Kart didn't. The one main feature for those of you who have not played this, and if you didn't, I highly suggest you do, it had a nice hub world, where you could just drive around and, explore and do other things. But not only that, it had other vehicles that you could use. Like you could use a plane, like a boat or hover boat type thing. I forget exactly what it was called. Or you can just do a standard kart. But yeah, this had a lot of extra features that would have been nice in Mario Kart, but just with those added quirks, added gameplay mechanics, that's why I think Diddy Kong Racing is a little better than Mario Kart 64. So I'm going to go with that. Now, number 3, one of the best platformers on the system, Donkey Kong 64. Holy cow, guys. Okay. This was actually my favorite game on the Nintendo 64 for a very long time. Like the nice open hub worlds, really good smooth platforming, at least for me. Not everyone agrees with me on that, but just the world was so colorful for the most part. Just so beautiful to look at, and you got monkeys everywhere. I mean, who doesn't love monkeys? Come on now. But yeah, this was one of my all-time favorite games. I remember spending hours upon hours on this as a kid and just absolutely loving every minute of it, like looking for all the bananas, all the other little collectibles that are in here. I might just have to get back in and play this again just for nostalgia's sake. But yep, number 3, Mario Kart 64. Coming in at number 2, we have my favorite Zelda game of all time, and that is Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. I absolutely adore this game. Again, just beautiful visuals, beautiful setting, and wonderful gameplay. Looks like my label's coming off of that a little bit, but that's okay. We'll fix that. But yeah, and I loved, I didn't have this when I was a kid. Cartridge I had as a kid was just a plain gray one, but I always thought these gold carts were fascinating. Like I always wanted one. Like I thought it was going to be worth like millions of dollars in the future, which that isn't the case. I mean, they're kind of pricey nowadays, but Not in the $1 million category, at least. But yeah, I absolutely love, the Zelda games are hit or miss for me. I couldn't really get into the ones on the NES. Now, I love A Link to the Past. I couldn't really, I liked Wind Waker, absolutely. I couldn't really get into Twilight Princess. So, yeah, I kind of, it's like for every one Zelda game that comes out that I like, the following game I don't like. It's really weird like that. I'm kind of like that with Final Fantasy too. But yeah, this is probably the best Zelda game. Fight me. I know a lot of people have Breath of the Wild. I do too. I just think this is a little bit better. And then, number 1, we have here, this was one of my top 10 games actually, Super Mario 64. This is the epitome, in my opinion, of 3D platforming on the system. I mean, guys, again, nice open world that you could explore. I mean, even as an adult, whenever I sit down to play this, I don't do it very often, but a lot of times when I sit down to play this, I'll just jump around, like around the castle and the yard. And even as a kid, like, I spent hours just doing that. Like, I had a blast, an absolute blast. But, I mean, again, the levels, it's just so colorful. The characters are memorable. Absolutely amazing. Like, this is one Mario game you cannot go wrong with, and I love Super Mario Sunshine. Even the original Super Mario Brothers on the NES, like, most Mario games are good. There's a couple stinkers in there, but most Mario games are good. But in my opinion, Super Mario 64, I think, trumps them all. You could always get the cartridge, and I know there's a compilation that you can get on the Switch as well. But definitely, this is, in my opinion, the best Mario game ever. So, again, fight me on that one. Just my opinion. You guys may feel different. But okay then, so that is my top 5 Nintendo 64 games. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, if you did, like and comment down below and subscribe if you wish. And I'll catch you guys next time. Have a great day. Always remember that Jesus loves you. He is real. I love you guys too. I'll see you next time.